Hello, good morning and welcome to News Desk on your Joy News channel here on Multi TV. Coming up, more than 500 bonded allied health professionals demand jobs as they picket at the seat of government, the Flagstaff House, today. Also ahead, Ghana Water Company begins implementation of electronic billing system from June as it seeks to raise capital for its operations. And several residents of Tema Newtown resort to open defecation as toilet fees increase from 30 to 50 pesos. We have details of those stories plus a lot more, including business and sports, coming up in the next hour here on News Day. Stay with us. My name is Kwabena Chenche. Many thanks for joining us here on News Day. So our very first story is and a Security Council meeting is underway in Yeji to try and deal with the growing dangers on the River Volta as many travelers violate directive for all passengers to wear life jackets. Lives, Joy News has obtained visuals that show some travelers without life jackets, even though the district assembly has directed boat owners not to allow passengers who do not have life jackets to travel on the boats. Let's go live now to the area and speak to Daniel Techi, who's a reporter with a Live FM in Yeji. Daniel, good morning. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk. Okay, so we seem to have lost Daniel Techi on the line there. Once we have him, we'll bring to you a lot more on that very issue. Okay, so Daniel Techi is back on the line. Daniel, good morning. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk.
Good morning.
So what's the extent of violation of this directive? Because the last time we spoke to you, it appeared out of 50 people who were on the boat that also got involved in an accident on Sunday, just one person was in a life jacket.
Please come again.
No, I am asking... I'm asking what reasons are being given by these people for not putting on the jackets.
No, the passengers, all that is saying is they don't have it, and the boat owners too did not provide them with the life jacket. Therefore, they can't find one to put on. They have the interest of putting it on. In connection with what happened last Sunday, all of them are afraid now because they foresee that traveling on the Volta Lake is now fearful. Therefore, should they get the life jacket, they will put it on, but just that they don't have. Because some of them are saying that if it persists that they will not be provided with life jacket, then it means they will find it difficult traveling on the Volta Lake because traveling on it is now dangerous.
Okay. Daniel, we know there's a meeting that is underway, we are told, a security meeting to try and find ways of mitigating this very situation and ensuring that passengers are safe. Do we know when exactly is supposed to come to an end and what they are likely to consider?
Well, I spoke to the district chief executive, Emmanuel Kwame in some few minutes ago, but he has not disclosed to me as to whether there will be a meeting. I only know of a meeting which will be come tomorrow because they have to meet the Boat Owners Association and discuss with them the need for them to provide the passengers with life jackets. So right after this news, I'll make sure I get in contact with the DCE to brief us as to what the meeting entails and what are the resolutions or the outcome of the meeting, so that I can also tell the listeners what the meeting is all about. But I'm aware there are some armed robbery incidents that the district police commander is making sure that at least lives are being protected on the highways. As to whether this meeting is in connection with their robbery incidents, I can't tell unless we are through with the meeting.
Right. Daniel Techi, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. And Daniel Techi is a local reporter with a Live FM in Yeji. Brought us an update on the situation there. But we can now speak to National Chairman of the Boat Owners Union, Yusuf Apetogbo, who joins us on the line now. Mr. Apetogbo, good morning. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Good morning, sir, and how are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, the very first question I want to ask is, why are you not following the instruction by the Assembly for you to ensure that all passengers wear life jackets?
Well, thank you for this morning. We are putting ourselves in by insuring our boats and passengers at the same time. But we met a lot of insurance companies who can even insure our life and property. But there is no insurance company who is ready to insure the boat and the passengers as I speak to you now. Sometimes when we met them, they always demanding on the fishing canoes and the fishermen, but not rather the commercial vessel. That is the only problem that we are facing. But we are ready to insure our boat and the passengers at the same time as life is concerned.
Okay, we'll be delving a lot more into the issue of insurance, but I'm just trying to, first and foremost, find the linkage between insuring your boats and having people who use these boats wear life jackets. Clearly, it isn't really an issue of insurance, is it?
Exactly.
So why are you not ensuring that people who are on board your boats wear these life jackets to protect themselves?
Yeah, sometimes a lot of people deny to wear the life jackets, while we have some of the life jackets on board. So when you ask them to wear life jackets, they say, "I know swimming, so don't worry me about my life." So sometimes there is no fault from us. It came from the passengers themselves, because the last week, a week yesterday, when the accident occurred, the boat has about 150 life jackets on board, but they refuse to wear it. So whom you ask? When you force them, they even to insult you, because I know swimming, so don't disturb me to wear a life jacket. So now working with a Navy, so it will be assist on Navy to let the passengers to wear before you board the boat. So we don't have problems not to wear the life jacket, because we know life jacket can save your life.
But following that incident,
wear the life jacket.
Following that incident, there was a directive for you to ensure that anybody who gets on board a boat is in life jacket. So why have you not stuck to that directive?
Yeah, we are not working lonely, because we work with Ghana Maritime Authority at the same time, the Navy. And every station that we have Navy commanders and Navy personnel supervisors. So at times there are some news which is fraud or which is not true about boat operators, while the Navy can also be an evidence with us. So sometimes they may see before the boat starts. So the moment we took off, then they remove the life jackets into the boat. That is the problem. So now we all find solution to solve that matter and save people's lives.
Okay. Again, well, you have spoken of one scenario. Another scenario which we've had quite a number of passengers confirm to us is the fact that, well, not many of your boats have life jackets on them. A number of them, for instance, you're told that the incident that happened on Sunday, we just had one person in a life jacket, and when they checked, not many life jackets were available to cater for the about 50 people who are on board that boat. So how about that? What is the union doing to ensure that your members have enough life jackets to support the situation, particularly for those who are willing to wear them?
Because of this not having this life jacket, under my leadership, we wrote our petition to the Ministry of Transport, to the Ghana Maritime Authority, to assist the passengers, even if to sell, by a moderate prices, so that we can also have payments of the passengers. But when you write your petition, nobody cares. But when incidents occur, then opinion leaders are rushing you, as you don't know what you are doing. So the thing will happen, or the accident will happen before you know the position that the people is holding. But when the incident doesn't occur and you are telling them, they don't even know whom you are. And they don't even recognize you that you are a person to talk to them, to listen your voice. So nobody to bring the boat owners, because we are playing our part. But the officials, they are not listening our voice and do what we deserve to do for us. That is the only problem.
So You're accusing the ministry, for instance.
That life jacket, and we also give it to the passengers to board because we are playing our part. We are doing a lot. That is the problem. Since last year, I even walked through this life jacket. Nobody cares me. Nobody even called me one day.
And you're saying officials of the transport ministry as well?
Yes, of course.
So they are just being hypocrites right now?
Yes, exactly. Nobody even called me one day that come and sit with your solution and your idea. Mm-hmm. So we are playing our part, exactly. We are doing our best.
Your best clearly may not be good enough at this point in time because when it comes to protecting human lives, a lot more has to be done. What more within your power can you do to ensure that the situation gets better?
Please, can you come again?
Yes, I'm saying that protecting human lives obviously is of paramount interest. So I'm saying beyond what you've been doing, which you say, yes, you say you've done enough, what more can you do or what more will you do to ensure that a lot more lives can be protected while we try and get the other agencies to also play their part?
Thank you. You know, our first step concerning life jackets. Well, now, Ghana, we have no company like Zoom Lion company. They are the only supplier of this life jacket. So when we went to their office, I went personally to their office. They told me that they can't work with the boat operators or with the fishermen until they work with a regional coordinator. Before we. And I've also told them the regional coordinators don't know what we are facing on the lake. So why not to give us the life jacket ourselves rather than the regional coordinators? So I should go round to the regional coordinators. If they agree with me before we can, I can't do that. Sometimes the life jacket will occur with the regional coordinators, which they will not even call out to come for the life jacket. So we Ghanaians always need the illness before we go for a hospital. So when everything happens, an issue happens like this, a lot of people may say, but we are finding our solution before it's too late, but nobody cares about it.
Okay.
Yes, that is the police.
All right. Mr. Peterbo, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning, and indeed we'll try and follow up on this issue and bring a lot more perspectives to it. We demand answers from the many people you have been accusing as being negligent and not playing their roles to ensure that lives and property are protected. And that was Yusuf Petogbo. He's the national chairman for the Boat Owners Association at Yeji in the Bono-Afo region. He joined us with thoughts on that very worrying development because we do know that over the weekend there was another boat accident. Fortunately, though, no lives were lost, but all goods on board the boats were damaged. We'll try and bring you a lot more on this in subsequent bulletins, but away from that now, let's turn our attention to some issues with the Ghana Water Company. And customers of the Ghana Water Company Limited are to begin paying their bills electronically from this month. The Ghana Water Company says it will implement the electronic system on a pilot basis in Metropolis and, when successful, replicate the system nationwide. But the question on the mind to many is why such a move and how exactly will this be rolled out? How beneficial will it be to the ordinary consumer? Joining me now on phone with more on this is Director of Communications at the Ghana Water Company Limited, Stanley Mate, with some more on this. So Stanley Mate, good morning. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So this issue of a new metering system has gotten quite a number of people worried. Let me first find out how this whole thing is expected to work.
I think customers shouldn't be worried. They should rather be excited about it because it's a simple way and a very convenient way of billing and payment. So customers should rather be happy about it. But be it as it may, we've made it a bit flexible, or very, very flexible, so that customers will find it convenient, and so that if there has to be any amendment or whatever it is, that can be done in no time. But the whole process is now going to be like this. That's more going to be of electronic billing, such that instead of the manual way that hitherto we were using, Now, our meter readers will come to the customer's premises with an Android device to key in the meter reading. Now, the Android device is supposed to pick the GPS coordinate of the meter or the location of the meter, and which will give out the customer details, so that there's a linkage between the location of the meter, the customer, and then the GPS system. So when it comes up, the meter reader keys in the reading, and then he sends it into the cloud. Then the system counts your bill and sends your bill to you by a text message or an email instantly. So your meter is read, keyed into an Android device, and it is sent. If it is sent, okay, then the system calculates your bill and sends it to you via a text message or email. Now, you will receive the email or a text message which will show you, or which will give you an indication of your consumption over the month, okay, and then your bill. Formerly, when it was done manually, when it is read, it takes a month for you to get your bill, because the meter reader will have to take the information to the office, input it into the system before the calculations and printed. Before it is sent to you, it takes about a month or two. But now it is instant. So he gets there with the device, he reads and then and sends it, and then a text message of your bill or your details is sent to you instantly. Now, when you receive your bill via the text message and or email, you buy a payment scratch card from any vendor within your community, and then you go through the process back of the card to pay your bill. So you send a message also via per the instructions, and then you receive an instant text message which will tell you that you have paid such an amount and you have such an arrears or you have such a balance, depending on how much you pay. Okay, so this time it is very simple.
Mr. Martin, sorry, but the
yeah.
explanation you just gave us paints a picture of a very cumbersome process. So,
no, it is not.
For starters, someone obviously needs to come to my house, come take a reading with an electronic device, and then the message is sent to a cloud, and the cloud goes through the system and then sends me a text, and then I now need to go and purchase a voucher. That's too much work.
No, it is rather simple. You see the way you've explained it? I mean, it's very, very simple. It's rather simple.
It doesn't sound so simple. Seriously, it doesn't sound simple to me.
Let me break it down, and then we compare to what hitherto we had. Okay. Now, hitherto, our customers we're still going to have our meter readers visit your premises like they were doing before. Is that not it?
Mm.
Now, before is to read your meter, okay, and then they send information to the office, and then it is inputted into our computer system. A calculation is done, printed, and then your bill is sent to you after a month or two. But this time, all this processes has been changed into an electronic way of doing things, such that he reads the meter, and in your presence, he sends the information there, and then instantly you receive a text message of your bill. So you have current bills or current reading, current consumption, and the current bills. You understand?
Okay, so Mr. Mata, at this point, I think you're just repeating what you said earlier, and I'm still not getting any clarity.
It's not cumbersome.
I'm still not getting any clarity because we do know that there are separate instances. For instance, there are people who are on the flat rate metering system. How about that? How does that work as well? Because all along, I know is that I'm at home. My bill is delivered. I take the bill. I need X amount of money. I walk to any vendor, any of your vendors or any of your outlets. I go make my payment. I take my receipt. That's it. Why do I now need to go through this whole stressful situation and just...
Okay, I'll stress again that this new process is rather simple. Formally, the bill you received is your consumption over consumption 2 months or a month before that time.
Okay, so we are in June. I have my bill for May. I know how much I'm supposed to pay for all the water I consumed in May. I just walk to your vendors and I pay.
Exactly.
So one more.
Now, in June, for instance, if your meter is read on the 6th of June, let's say on the 15th of June, okay, while the meter reader is there in your home with a device, we are going to get your consumption and your bill for the period of June instantly. Is that okay?
Mr. Mate, I'm trying to understand really how this is going to benefit the ordinary consumer, seeing that not many people have such a flexible schedule to be running around just so they can pay their water bills. I'm thinking that the Ghana Water Company Limited will be looking at other electronic platforms which makes it easier for people to pay their bills. For instance, if, for instance, I know my meter number, I can just key it in with my phone or any other application and then rather make payments online. One would say that would have been a more prudent measure, but what you're suggesting seems a bit out of the way.
We will get there, but then it's a process. You understand?
So what happens when the device that is brought to take that very reading is faulty, or for one reason or the other, the internet reception in the area is not good enough? What happens?
No, you know, the device has its data. Okay, so the device can only read when it's been able to pick the GPS coordinates of where the meter is located.
So what happens if it's not able to pick the coordinates?
If the internet is not functioning, the customer information will not even pop out for him to key in the information.
And what would happen in such an instance? The person needs to go by the normal routine manual way?
No, we are counseling the manual way and moving on to the new this thing.
So the question I'm asking is, so what if you come and the meter is unable to make that reading? What happens?
No, it will be able to. There's no issue of it wasn't able to. If there's any fault anywhere, it will be rectified.
We are dealing with machines, and we know some of these things don't always work as we expect them to.
Okay. So let me repeat.
Unless, of course, you are saying the Ghana Water Company doesn't have any backup plan.
Let me explain.
Do you have a backup plan?
No, hold on. For instance, if the device, okay, or the Android device is faulty, the meter reader cannot go out to read, and there are spares for them to use. So if it is faulty, or his battery is low, or for some reason there's no data, he has to change from the office before going to the field. You understand? So there's no issue of I go to the field and it wasn't working. If it's not working, you either call the office, a new one is brought to you, or you go back to the office to pick a new one.
Interesting. Maybe before we go, I need to find out what has necessitated this.
I think we haven't gone through the processes. We are not done with all the processes. So when the meter when the readings is done and you receive your bill, you buy a Ghana Water payment scratch card.
So we need to go and buy a scratch card?
Yes. So now instead of going to specific locations to pay your bills, you can get a scratch card from anywhere, from any vendor on the street. So you see that it makes it more convenient now. Just like the way you buy your credit cards for your telcos, for the telcos. Same way, these same vendors will be selling the Ghana Water payment scratch card.
So you go buy it, and then what do? You scratch and you
then
send
you
a
follow
text?
the instructions. You scratch, and then you key into and send a number that will be given, or that is given at the back of the scratch card.
Okay, so assuming I'm supposed to pay 60,000 Ghana cedis as a water bill, I need to go and buy what? About 1,000 pieces of scratch cards?
No. And that information will be given. Some you have to check. Some will have to use e-vouchers. So you have to, for instance, if you want to pay, let's say, about 10 times the highest denomination of the scratch card.
What's the highest denomination?
200 Ghana cedis.
200 Ghana cedis.
Yes. And this is a pilot, okay? So as we move on, if there's a need for us to increase the denomination for the cards, we will do so.
Okay.
But for now, we are lowering the risk so that we are maintaining at the highest denomination at 200, and then we move on. Okay. Now, there will be e-vouchers at our collection points as well, so that if you have to pay far in excess of 200 Ghana cedis, the e-vouchers will be there for you to use.
All right.
Okay, so this is for the convenience of the customer and for simplicity.
Anyway, I don't know how convenient it is anyway, but
it is very convenient because you can buy the
Mate.
scratch card at any time,
right?
And then in the comfort of your home, you do it at any time.
Right. Stanley Mate, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. And Stanley Mate is the Director of Communications for the Ghana Water Company Limited. He's been trying to explain how this new metering system is going to work. But we do not know whether or not it's going to be feasible and convenient enough for the ordinary consumer, but we'll see how that pans out. But in a related development, former President Jerry Jordan Rawlings has raised concern about the continuous abuse of the environment, addressing cadres on the 37th to the 7th anniversary of the June 4 uprising, Mr. Rawlings said such abuses will make life more difficult for Ghanaians in the near future.
A week and a half or so, a newspaper called The Public Agenda carried the news item by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Mr. Johnny Osei Kofi. This gentleman was cautioning us that Ghana risks importing water by 2021. The article claims that Ghana is at risk of importing water in the near future. This news item may sound preposterous to most people, but that is the stark reality. There is a global water crisis created by the abuse of the environment. In our country, the situation has become dire because of the abuse of our water bodies through the dumping of non-degradable waste like plastics, metals, chemicals, and other poisonous material. It is further exacerbated by the senseless abuse of our rivers and lakes in the newfound craze for illegal mining. It is tragic to see rivers such as Ankobra, Pra, Ofin, and parts of the Volta, which used to provide clean water, potable water, to huge communities, now turn into a flow of mud and grime. As far back as the early 80s, I was in office. I used to travel around the country a lot. An observation I made, especially in parts of the 3 northern regions, was that a little too frequently the roads would be leading over bridges, and yet these bridges had no river flowing under them. In effect, the environment had become so degraded that these water bodies had dried up.
And that was former President Jerry John Rawlings at this year's June 4 celebration. You're watching News Desk here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. We're taking a break. When we come back, Emmanuel Abojiri joins us with business.